You know what time it is? That's right, it's blood moon time, baby! So get those sacrificial daggers and find yourselves a... What's that? Legal doesn't want us to promote ritual sacrifices to the great old ones and bring about the great upheaval? Alright. Since we can't give proper thanks to cute Thulu, who died for our sins, we'll go ahead and destroy the flat earth some more. If you were paying attention to celestial events, you might have heard that last week was a blood moon for most of the world. While it's fun to call it a blood moon, its scientific name is a total lunar eclipse. And like every celestial event and observation, it completely debunks the flat earth. Flat earther beliefs on the moon vary a lot, but most of the big names think the moon is not a giant sphere in the sky, but some kind of light source. Some even think it emits cold light, but we'll deal with that some other time. And they usually go about making this light source claim because they disagree with the spherical model of the moon phases. How moon phases would work on a flat Earth has some interesting explanations. One of the most linked videos I've seen is this one.
This is my simulated moon phases.
The curve on this glass is way too concaved, but if it was less, it would work a lot better for showing the phases of the moon. Anyway, that's all I could find to use.
This goes on till about timestamp 6:30. So if you want to skip ahead to the nighttime sky, but I wanted to put all these clips in here in case somebody wants to cut them out and use them for another video. So I put all of it down. But yeah, timestamp 6:30 is the nighttime sky.
That's, pretty interesting, I guess. However, moonlight is just reflected sunlight, and the angle of the moon to the Earth and the sun determines the phase. I was going to record this experiment for myself to show how moon phases work, but then I came across a video demonstrating it much better than I ever could. So let's go ahead and watch that now.
Now in this model, the lamp is going to represent the sun, and of course the white foam ball is going to represent the moon, and your head is going to represent the Earth. So let me show you how this works. We know that the moon orbits the Earth. So in this model, I'm going to get the moon, the foam ball, to orbit the Earth, my head. Notice that no matter where the moon is in its orbit, half of it is always lit up by the sun. But when the moon is in this position, I can't see any of the lighted side of the moon from Earth, my head. From this angle, you can see what I am seeing from Earth. We call this new moon. When it's new moon, we look up at the sky and we can't see the moon. It's there, but the side that's reflecting sunlight is away from us. Now, as I slowly make the moon orbit to my left, I can begin to see a tiny sliver of that lighted side. We call that a crescent moon. As the moon keeps orbiting, we can see more and more of that lighted side. We see half of the lighted half, which is a quarter moon. In this case, a first quarter moon. As we keep orbiting, we see almost the whole lighted side. We call that a gibbous moon. Then, when we can see the entire lighted half of the moon, that's a full moon. As the moon continues in its orbit, we begin to see less and less of that lighted side. We're back to a gibbous moon, but this time the light is on the opposite side. Then another quarter moon, last quarter moon to be exact. Another crescent, and finally back to new moon. And the cycle begins again.
And now we come to the main event. The moon alone really makes a flat Earth struggle. The blood moon absolutely sinks them. What's nice about our globe model is that we have a model, and it works for everything we observe in reality. We can predict the sunrise and sunset, the angle to the sun and the moon at any given time, the moon phases, even blood moons. When it's going to appear, who's going to see it, and for how long they're going to see it. You can go and check out timeanddate.com right now and see the next 5 upcoming total lunar eclipses. These even come with cute little videos displaying where the blood moon will be seen and for how long. Now, the flat Earth model has yet to be created. We have bits and pieces that flurfers throw together, but they usually only try to explain a single thing, and they do it poorly. And they ignore everything else as much as possible. I would genuinely love to see them try and explain this one. Here in reality, we know a blood moon is the result of the moon being eclipsed by the Earth. The moon moves into the Earth's penumbra, its partial shadow, then into the umbra, the full shadow. It's here when the total eclipse occurs. And something pretty exciting happens. It takes on a red hue. This is a similar red hue that we see at sunrise and sunset, and for the same reason. When light hits our atmosphere, most of the spectrum blue light gets scattered about. And this is why the sky appears blue during the daytime. Light closer to the red spectrum doesn't scatter as much. Then the light is also refracting little by little around the Earth. So as the light travels through the air, that blue light is getting scattered and filtered out, leaving mostly red spectrum light. This is why sunsets and sunrises typically have a red sky when the sun isn't visible. During a total lunar eclipse, this red spectrum light curves around the Earth and reaches the moon, and that's why the moon appears to be red during this time. Now, if the Earth was flat, why does it work out this way? We can easily explain and model this with spheres, and the math hasn't failed us when it comes to predicting when a blood moon will show up and how long it will last. Is Sky Daddy trying to trick us into thinking that Earth is a sphere? Seems a little far-fetched. But I hope everyone had a great blood moon and enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've been baffled by reality. Praise be to Cthulhu.